Brother and sister, it is a reality, a fact of life, that when we are feeling good, we easily welcome the company of others. We are quite happy to let them come near us and share our joy. But when we are in pain, we tend to cut ourselves off from others because no one wants to have a sore spot to be touched. We just want to be left alone. While such a reaction is understandable, it is in fact a big mistake. How can healing happen if we do not allow our wounds to be seen and to be touched? To make us understand this fact of life, let us pay attention to this encounter that happened one day between a man and a wounded woman. The man was going from the United States to Latin America. On the plane, he found himself sitting beside a woman from Peru. The woman told him that she was returning home with her mother, who had undergone 3 surgeries in the United States. "Is your mother feeling better now?" asked the man. "Oh, yes," the woman replied. "She is completely cured, and our family will be waiting at the airport to welcome her back." Then the woman asked him why he was going south. He told her that he was a priest and that he was going there to do missionary work. On hearing that he was a priest, the face of the woman changed dramatically. She leaned over, took the priest by the arm, and worshipped in her ear in an agonizing and low voice, "Oh, Father, my mother has cancer, and doctor said that there is no hope. Please, Father, pray for her." The question in our minds now is, why did that woman feel that she had to keep up the pretense that all was well? Why did she have to hide not only the mortal physical wounds of her mother, but also her own emotional wounds as well? Surely they were not things to be ashamed of. Her own wounds were caused by the love for her mother. Only when she discovered that the man beside her was a priest, that is, someone from whom she might expect sympathy and comfort, did she come out with the truth, allowing herself to touch and to be touched. Let us now consider the case of the man, Thomas, who is in the center of the gospel of today. After the death of Jesus, Thomas fled from the company of the other disciple to heal alone his pain. Thus, he missed the first appearance of the risen Lord. However, he was there for the next appearance. Then it is very interesting to see how Jesus deals with Thomas. Jesus felt no need to hide his wounds, for they were the proof of his love for his disciple and for us. They were the mortal wounds the good shepherd suffered in defending his flocks from the wolf. Then Jesus invited Thomas to touch those wounds. But in truth, Thomas was the wounded one. He was wounded by grief, loneliness, doubt, and despair. And in his pain, Thomas wanted to be left alone. It was his mistake. Even though his wounds were visible, they were real ones, and Jesus was able to see them. Then it was Jesus who touched Thomas' wounds and so made him well again. It is very clear. It is by touching and being touched that Thomas was healed of his unbelief as well as of his other wounds. Brother and sister, even though in his gospel, the evangelist John seems to put the focus on Thomas regarding the doubts about the resurrection of the Lord, yet was Thomas really the only one among the disciples to have doubt, while the other easily and immediately believe in the risen one? According to the other evangelists, it does not seem that things went that way. The Gospel of Mark says that Jesus appeared to the 11 and rebuked them for their unbelief. In Luke's Gospel, the risen Christ addresses the amazed and the frightened apostle and asks them, "Why do doubt arise in your heart?" And the last page of the Gospel of Matthew even says that when Jesus appeared to the disciple on the mountain in Galilee, some still have doubt. Therefore, it is very clear. All disciples doubt, and not only the poor Thomas. All disciples were wounded by grief, doubt, unbelief, and despair. And all of them need to be comforted, to be touched by Jesus in order to be healed of their wounds of unbelief. Brother and sister, how about us now? We are also all wounded people who need to be healed of our fear, doubt, and despair. On this point, let us be clear and realistic. We have been badly wounded since more than a year by the pandemic disease of the COVID-19, which put down our belief that we, Hong Kong people, could face and overcome any threat. We lost the battle. We have been also unexpectedly wounded in the last year in our belief about the future of Hong Kong by experiencing a sharp reduction in our freedom of speech and in our civil rights, as an immediate consequence of the imposition of the national security law by Beijing. Then, facing this reality, we have been surprisingly wounded by different understanding, different interpretation that arose among ourselves, even among the members of the same family, and also among the members of our Christian community. Brother and sister, we do not have to hide our wounds. We do not have to be ashamed of them. They are the proof of our love for a healthy, a prosperous, and a free Hong Kong. So, what do you have to do now? As Thomas in the Gospel, we have to turn to Jesus. First, realizing that all our wounds, injuries, and pain are very light compared with His. We have to turn to Jesus and allow Him to touch our wounds. One of the great mistakes Thomas made was to cut himself off from the other disciple, that is to say, from the community. To walk alone when we are wounded is a big mistake. Even on human level, we have a deep need for community, for the support of each other. And especially us as Christians, we need the community. We need a support system to sustain our faith, our hope, and our love. We need a community in order to be able to survive. With the help of the community, we will be able to resolve our doubt, to cure our wounds, and to sustain our faith. It was only when Thomas rejoined back the community that he encountered the risen Christ, that he was able to cure his wounds of unbelief and of despair, that he was able to find faith again. Brother and sister, for our good and in order to heal our wounds, may we learn from Thomas' experience. Amen.